And so this Bitcoin ETF is coming exactly as you suggest, at the right point for all of these things. And if it plays out like it has done in the past, and there's no guarantees of that, then generally speaking, you will start to attract a lot of new capital into the space. That's always been the case. So currently in crypto, there's 516 million wallets, but they grow at about 100% a year. So if that's right, we'll grow by another 500 million wallets somewhere between 2024 and 2025. And that's a lot of new capital. So I think that it's a very big deal. It's come at exactly the right time. And then the market will start focusing on the ETH ETF, which, by all accounts, seems like there's a reasonable probability that's going to come.
Welcome back, crypto enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into the latest seismic shift in the world of finance, the green light given by the SEC for Bitcoin ETFs. But this isn't just any approval. It's a win with implications for both the fiat and cryptocurrency markets. Financial giants like Fidelity, Grayscale, and BlackRock have entered the race in an attempt to develop Bitcoin exchange-traded funds, ETFs, in recent days. And the risks are high. Announcements and fee reductions suggest a fierce competition for investors' time and money. The effort to create spot Bitcoin ETFs has been beset by years of setbacks and setbacks, but its approval represents a major turning point. It also occurs soon after the SEC lost a legal battle when the DC Circuit Court of Appeals determined that the agency's decision to reject Grayscale's offer was unreasonable and unjustified. We turn to the perceptive macro investor and crypto maximalist Raoul Pal in the middle of current financial chaos. He joins us today to discuss how the approval of this ETF will affect the constantly changing cryptocurrency market. Pal notes that this triumph is an invitation to the fiat world to join something as ambitious as the crypto revolution, not simply for the crypto community. So grab a seat and get ready to dig deep into the strategies, consequences, and excitement around the approval of Bitcoin ETFs. We get the lowdown from Raoul Pal on why this matters, what it implies for investors, and how it may affect global finance. But before we delve into the interview, please remember to press the like button, subscribe to receive frequent updates on crypto insights, and of course, leave your comments below with your ideas. Now let's get started.
Firstly, we've been building this new digital world, this parallel kind of financial system. Let's call it crypto land. And then we've got fiat world, which is the existing world that we live in. And most of the world's liquidity and money exists in fiat land because it's much bigger than crypto land. Now, what this ETF is basically a trade deal between these two countries. So people in fiat world can now go and invest in this new country easily. And so what it's then is a factor of, like with all trade deals, is will my return on capital be higher by investing in this emerging market versus in my domestic economy? Now, if we look at last year's price performance and typical annualized price performance of crypto over time, taking into account it has huge cycles, the Bitcoin economy grows at kind of 100% a year. So in which case, there'll be a lot of money coming from fiat world into crypto land. Another way of thinking about this is, okay, that's great. So it's likely to attract a lot of assets over this cycle. And a lot of assets will wash out when suddenly the returns aren't as good anymore. So we will see that. The other way you can think about it is we are IPOing Bitcoin. And we've all been seed investors or Series A, Series B, Series C investors. And we're now about to go to the big stage. And, many of us are kind of used to recent years where, generally speaking, IPOs haven't done great, but this is early cycle. There's not much investment in this space yet from fiat world. So the chances are we're going to attract a lot of assets. So short term, don't really know. It's not really my area of interest.
Yeah.
What my area of interest is could this attract 10 billion, 50 billion over time of new capital into this emerging market of crypto land? And the probability is pretty high because, a lot of people are looking for higher return opportunities. You can see it by the amount of activity that goes on platforms like eToro, in things like Tesla and other technology stocks, right? People are searching out the risk curve because a lot of people are 401k investors in the US. So they invest in their pension, but then they also like to have other assets that maybe have a different risk reward profile. So over time, I think it's very, very positive. It just opens up to more people. Those of us who've been in crypto a long time, know how difficult and painful it is to open a wallet, execute your own trades, do all this thing, think about self-custody. Now, platforms like eToro have really helped people onboard and get comfortable with this, but this makes it even easier.
Supporters of a spot Bitcoin ETF for a long time have maintained that institutional and retail clients might benefit from the launch of a regulated trading instrument based on the oldest cryptocurrency in the world. They would then have an easier way to track changes in the price of Bitcoin without having to install wallets or make direct investments in the virtual currency. For example, ETF shares will be easily accessible to any American investor with a brokerage account, removing the obstacles that have historically accompanied cryptocurrency purchases. Now that we are concentrating on the much-awaited 2024 bull run, Raoul Pal clarifies his theories on the next market upswing. He explores a number of industries where he expects significant liquidity inflows and offers advice on how investors might use this knowledge to their advantage. Raoul also discusses his thoughts on NFTs, pointing out that even though they might appear inactive right now, there's a good chance they'll come back if market prices rise. As we examine Raoul Pal's best ideas and analysis for navigating the 2024 bull run, his knowledge should be very helpful in identifying chances in the rapidly changing cryptocurrency market. Let's explore the wealth of knowledge Raoul Pal can provide on the upcoming crypto boom.
So how I think about this is I've coined it the everything, everywhere, all at once cycle. So most of the key technologies have been in place for a while now.
Yeah.
In terms of the applications layer, but it's the adoption of the applications layer, the adoption of NFTs by giant corporate brands, the adoption of blockchain rails for a whole bunch of different things, from traditional finance of putting, equities or derivatives or whatever on chain. I think that is coming. I think we're going to see, with stuff like Solana being able to create 1 million NFTs for $100, well, that means ticketing or any high frequency contractual stuff can happen. We're seeing Visa build on top of that. We're seeing massive speed increases again in Solana, where we've got Fire Dancer that has 1 million TPS. So that means high frequency trading can happen. So, new centralized exchanges and the rails for the finance system, okay, that can go on chain. We're seeing large corporate brands building using NFTs and other Web3 technologies. We're seeing the adoption via RAAs and the ETFs and other things. So we're seeing a lot in the space. And I think that continues. I think the other thing we all see is gaming. We've all been waiting for the gaming to meet Web3, and we're seeing quite a lot of evidence that is on its way. We've got blockchain meets AI for authentication of who we are. We're about to go into an election in the US. And in fact, we're going through like 60 elections around the world. We've never gone through an election with AI. And the deep fakes driven by AI will mean you can't trust anything you see in the wild. Yes, you're on the eToro platform watching something. Well, it's authenticated by eToro. You go outside, you don't know whether an interview you're watching of you and me is actually the real interview. So I could be saying crazy things and everyone thinks, well, this was a real interview, right? This is a huge problem. How do we authenticate who humans are? How do we authenticate content? And I think blockchain is part of that. So I see the opportunity for that as well. In terms of NFTs themselves, we're going to see a lot more use cases come. It's not just about your monkey JPEGs. But NFTs at the high quality asset side, we're talking about Beeple or Xcopy and these kind of famous artists that are very expensive. This thing trades exactly like assets do in fiat world. So in fiat world right now, the economy's slow, and the assets that require disposable income, trophy assets, lag because nobody's got any money yet. And so if you look at the price of Rolexes, you look at the price of wine, you look at the price of used cars, look at the price of art, it's all been going down. Because nobody's got any real money yet. Yes, the stock market's gone to new highs, but most people haven't participated. Everyone's businesses are still a bit slower than they want them to be, etc. It's exactly the same with ETFs, with NFTs. NFTs lag the price because really they start taking off when the price goes back to all-time highs. And people are like, oh, look, I've got money. I want to go and buy a crypto punk because I've got one in the background, because it's a social signaling. status, it's a luxury good in crypto land, much like a Rolex watch is a luxury good in fiat world. So I just think it's lagged. And, I think prices have started stabilizing a lot of the NFT market. A lot of it will go to zero. But out of the, ashes, we will find diamonds in that dust. And I think, there's a lot, that it's only gone through one cycle ever. So we need to figure it out. But yeah, I'm very bullish NFTs, the right ones.
And there you have it. Raoul Pal has just dropped a wealth of knowledge on us, coining the upcoming era as the everything everywhere all at once cycle. The stage is set and key technologies have long been in place, waiting for the applications layer to sweep through. Raoul highlights the possibilities for high-frequency trading on platforms like Solana, the impending adoption of NFTs by massive corporate brands, and the incorporation of blockchain rails into conventional finance. Web3 and gaming are about to come together, and blockchain combined with AI has the potential to completely transform authentication in a time of uncertainty and deepfakes. He addresses the issues raised by deepfakes in the changing environment by highlighting the critical role that blockchain plays in verifying human identity and material. Concerning NFTs, Raoul sees potential applications beyond the present craze for monkey JPEGs. He compares premium NFTs with traditional assets, explaining why they depreciate in value during recessions and projecting a rise when the economy comes back. Raoul is still optimistic about the NFT space, predicting pricing stability and market improvement. Like every market, he admits, there will be winners and losers, but that gems will also rise out of the ashes. In order to receive updates on the most recent news from the cryptocurrency industry, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell. As we come to an end of this insightful conversation with Raoul Pal, drop your opinions in the comments below. Which part are you most excited about? Happy investing till the next time, and may your portfolios be overflowing with brilliant diamonds.